Suge Knight speaks out, and what Suge said really stood out to me. Suge said, the raids wasn't about Diddy. It wasn't about Diddy, and it makes sense. They was about what it was about when you listen to the court transcripts, and when you listen to what the witness, Lil Rodney or whatever his name is, the allegations. Diddy had cameras, hidden cameras in every room, in every party, at every event, which means that he had evidence on powerful men. With Suge Knight, he hit him in the head with the headshot. Diddy had a get out of jail free card, which is blackmail. He can blackmail some of the most powerful men around the world, even the ones that he was fighting with in them liquor corporations and companies. So what they do, you gotta understand, they send in their army. They made a statement, turned his family upside down, turned his house upside down. But the only thing I'm thinking is, like, when you sit back and you really analyze it, somebody put Diddy on point to what was going on. That's why his plane that everybody thought he was on that plane. They was looking for that plane. That plane left without Diddy. And 9 times out of 10, that plane probably was carrying the evidence to convict all these powerful men that Diddy's beefing with. Because Diddy he be no brown right now. I ain't going down by myself. But if they catch that evidence, he ain't got nobody else to point the finger at. He can't prove it.
All right, well, he's changed his name many times over the years. You might know him as Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Puff, P. Diddy, or just Diddy, the D, the I, the D, the D, the Y.
Owen saying Diddy switched up his name a bunch to hide his shady stuff, but that ain't working no more.
He just got the Jeffrey Epstein of the music and entertainment industry. The new lawsuit that just dropped against Diddy is massive, and it has photos, it has videos, it names names, and there's so much here that it's never gonna fit into a single video. We're talking crime scenes, we're talking photo evidence of celebrities like Cuba Gooding Jr., we're talking record label executives, we're talking hidden cameras in every room of the house, getting recordings of celebrities, executives, politicians at parties with celebrities and underage girls, with drinks being spiked, with drugs. This goes all the way back to the murder of Tupac and Biggie. We're talking about the entire rap and hip hop industry and the whole music industry at large.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Diddy's sitting on a mountain of evidence that's got folks like Suge Knight shaking. Bizarre just said Suge and some gangsters rolled up on 50 Cent for airing out the truth about him.
You know, nobody acknowledged what was going on between her and Mr. Carter.
Because she was 15.
She was 15, and everybody knew it. Naive girl. I'm not saying that she wasn't a city girl, but a 14-year-old girl mentally cannot contend with a 28, 29-year-old man. Period. Discards people and tries to erase them like they never exist so he doesn't have to see them or deal with what he's done with people. You know, I blame a lot of what happened to Ingram Marshall on his reckless adult choices for a very, very, very underage girl. But you hear that story a lot.
50 Cent's been dropping truth bombs on Diddy, saying he's sitting on a ton of evidence. He claims there's a shady connection between Jay-Z and Diddy, and Jay-Z's been trying to paint himself as some gay artist.
So I talked to the big homie, he was saying to Jay, he was telling me, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50. Right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter.
Okay.
Big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, their Harper, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like I'm a shady aftermath. You see what I'm saying? Like it do so much G-Unit Records.
Right.
They forget that I'm M and Dre's artist. You see what I'm saying? Like, but that's just the way it was. Like,
Were you a part of it? Even like you say, you weren't on the ad, right?
Yeah.
When we saw the initial asset that came out, and you weren't on there, but were you already a part of it?
No, I already had communications
okay.
with Paul about going to do it, but the ad was coming out that already was shot with.
Okay, gotcha.
With him and everybody else in it. So I'm like, nah, cool, I'll be surprised. Like, it's cool to be surprised.
Right. Yeah, I was surprised too. I remember at rehearsal, I was like, man, what the hell?
I won $20.
Right.
Yeah, me and Louis betted against it, and I was like, 50's gonna show up, watch.
When nobody, like when I reach out, because I want to see what the complications are, when nobody has any information about it, and it only came from that angle, I have to believe that was something that was from that.
Did you and Jay-Z ever have a conversation, or y'all in different offices as far as like?
We don't need to talk about nothing.
I heard that.
Jaguar Wright spills the tea on Jay-Z, saying he's been into some messed up stuff and having a shady alliance with Diddy.
We was at the In the Club video shoot, Game, 50, everybody was there. I just heard somebody say, Suge Knight's here. And I looked and Suge was there, and but he had some essays with him though. You know what I'm saying? He all essays. And he looked at Fifth, and Fifth was like, what's up? And Suge just like, he hit a cigar one time, and then he did like this little shit like that, wrap it up, and then everybody just turned around and left. It was like a John Wayne movie or some shit.
Well, all due respect to Puffy, you gotta realize one thing. He didn't start off like that. I'm quite sure somebody taught him that, and that's more deep in the industry. You guys who got involved with a lot of people who were their mentors, instead of having a guy to mentor your own father, they was having these guys they mentor. And when that happens in the industry, it was done to them, they do to the next person. So I felt that Puffy was a regular, normal guy. And then when he started hanging with the guys in the industry, they did things to him, and then allegedly he did things to Usher. It goes on and on. But we got to stop this pointing the finger at the person who gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Where did it start from? And see, people don't want to touch on those angles if it started being in major executives who run these labels. So you guys want to speak on the people who got thrown on the bus, the sacrifice lamb.
He was their mentor. Who was Diddy's mentor? We know some of the big names. I'm just curious if you have any names. You don't seem like somebody.
Well, for number one was Clyde Davis. And you got an situation. I didn't do anything to lose my company. I didn't do anything illegal to get my company taken away from me. They was able to commit fraud for my company, but it ends up to the hands of people who want to buy my company for $500 million, $700 million. I kept saying no, and then turn around, they can get block everybody and end up getting it for what, 20 or 30 million, which is crazy. If you add all that type of stuff up, and you'll see how the industry been built on the secret rooms. The people who don't participate in the secret room is the people who later on get burnt. The people who participate in those rooms, they continue to grow. And even when they get caught, they're not really caught, because obviously, Puffy knew they was coming to the raid. Security wasn't there. He used to have like 4-6 Muslim guys doing security. They wasn't there. A lot of people wasn't there. How do people know all these things? It wasn't just a coincidence. You know? So it's easy to point the finger, but let's look at the whole thing and talk about somewhere.
Co-founder of Death Row Records at one point, $750 million of generated revenue. I think one year they sold 60 million records, 150 million total records sold. They had some of the biggest albums ever, signing Eazy, Snoop, Dre, Tupac, Nate Dogg, Corrupt, MC Hammer, Warren G. The list goes on. Suge, it's great to have you on the podcast today.
Hey, great being on here.
And I appreciate that. By the way, you know, one of the things I think it's important for the audience to know is the fact that you just said, look, whatever Pat wants to ask, I want to have all the conversations, any questions, nothing's off the table. Is that correct?
I like Pat. And one of the things that I always feel, if you're ever going to do something and have a platform, it's about telling your truth to the next person's truth to help the generation.
When he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I know you played in the NFL before, when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, everywhere everybody was talking, but also people were quiet after, you know, Diddy, he went after TDG. He went after a lot of people in the space. Had you, Cat, and Diddy, did you guys ever party together, three of you guys? I know you and Diddy spent some time together, but did you, Cat, and Diddy ever spend time together?
I'm not gonna say I never had a. I damn sure ain't had no fixing with no men. So you talking about have me and
that's not what I'm asking.
Not together. What you trying to do? I mean, have you said, not me.
And the reason why I'm asking this, where you actually personally witnessed some of the accusations that Diddy is having, saying the fact that he had cameras in the room.
Okay. But listen, the thing I'm gonna tell you. We from two different worlds. Number one, him and I. Number two, I'm the guy they didn't want to invite to those parties. And I'm glad of it. I've never been happy to be left out of my life. But at the same time, I'm not the guy who's in for Puffy's downfall. But I am the guy who supports the victims who got victimized, right? But at the same time, whatever the situation is, everybody knows it's wrong. And I don't think he can get punished as hard as a regular person because, you know, he used to be an FBI informant for a long time, they say. So I'm quite sure that play a role.
You're saying...
Asking the question, me, Cat, and Puffy, we had no reason to be hanging out. Me and Cat, and not me and Puffy. So that's that.
Got it. So you're saying Diddy's an FBI informant, and he's been one for many years.
That's what they say. Nothing ever happens, but it's still, like I say, agent. It ain't my business. Well, I said that because anybody else got with us quick, fast, in a hurry. But, you know, the most important thing about this is that with me, you got some people will have a opinion on something either they weren't a part of or they wasn't there. And I never want to be that type of person because, you know, there's only so many people who was around, who had Tupac, or seen Tupac, or talked to Tupac. And I feel that way because I often hear so many Tupac stories from people who never met him, people who wasn't around. Then you had the ones that, if they worked at McDonald's and they took Tupac orders, they don't mean they know Tupac. Or if you was doing security or wherever, that don't mean you know the man. All these people been benefiting and capitalizing on trying to put the man down or lie on him or tell some stories that they wasn't there or they know anything about. Because I don't think none of these people psychic. And I'm not. You know what happened to the last psychic big bitch? She ended up, whoever her name was, the fake roster boys. You know what happened to her when it all went bad. So I don't like to speculate. So I just tell the truth how it is. Because he know all the secrets. And if he get to run his mouth, it could be a bad look. I look at it like the most important thing is the industry needs to be built over. You have all these executives because somebody was their father, their grandfather, or all these type of stuff, and they don't give people the opportunity to grow and learn. I know when I...
Is Diddy at a level of being untouchable where he's protected, or is Diddy a target that they'll eventually put all the blame on him and make sure they get away with it free?
I mean, he's definitely gonna be the black motherfucker holding the bag. Because you gotta realize one thing: that boy life is dangerous. And his life doesn't. He's just not dangerous with the shit they said he was doing, but he's in danger. He know too much.